DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account. Rudo, AJ, and Jesse coming at you as the Avs did finally make their call up to replace Sampo Ranta, at least sort of. We'll get into that a little bit more. Alex Newhook is the guy called up right now. I don't think it's too surprising to anybody. We talked about him as one of the three potential options the other day. Good to have him back. He seems like in a press conference talking about it, he pretty much said what everybody thought, where it was like, yeah, I got to play with the puck a bunch and I feel more confident after playing in the AHL. So do you guys think it was good enough? He played, 10 games or was it 9 down in the AHL?
10.
It was 10?
10.
Okay. So what is it good for him? Is that enough? Is he ready to be back?
It's up to him.
Fair enough.
I guess we'll see, dog. But the one thing when a guy goes down, a guy of Newhook's caliber that goes down to the AHL, I always talk about it, is puck touches. You know, you have a guy that has spent his entire life in a top 6 on a top power play unit. Even when he was on Team Canada, was constantly out there, right? Like you have a guy that is out there doing everything for his team his whole life, and then he gets into the NHL, and it's a culture shock of, I'm trying to learn to play in the NHL at NHL speed against NHL players, and then not touch the puck and not always have it on my stick, and I'm playing 9 minutes a night. It's a big adjustment for guys, and it's really easy for young guys to lose their confidence when they get put in that situation. Newhook going down, it's no surprise that the first thing that he talks about is the puck touches. It's a way for guys to get involved in the game and to feel like they're doing something, because they lose that really quickly when you're in the NHL. You just don't have the puck all the time. You got to do a lot of things to get it back and touch it. So it's no surprise he started there. I think it's the thing that number one, we're going to see Sampo Ranta do when he goes down there, is that he's going to play a lot with it. He's going to get his confidence back. He's going to feel a lot better about himself. So I'm feeling good about Newhook. I'm excited about Newhook. As we talked about yesterday, highest ceiling of anybody in the organization at forward that wasn't already on the NHL team. So he's the guy who theoretically helps you the most.
Yep. All right, your hockey jersey idea, far better than a bathrobe. I will give you that, Cygnus.
No kidding, man.
Newhook being back, look, you don't have to look any further than the box score to see the confidence. He had 11 points in 10 games down in the AHL with 4 goals. The one thing I will say, only one even strength goal. A lot of that production coming on the power play. Is there any concern there with Newhook? Because he's not going to get a ton of power play time.
Yeah, they had him skating with PP2 this morning at practice. So he will get some of those looks. And honestly, that's something for me that I'm kind of hoping is, again, a little bit of a confidence thing. Hey, go be, somewhat of a trigger man on a second power play unit that's got some shooters. This adds a little bit more, threat to that second unit that, it hasn't just been the second unit, but the power play has been horrible to start the season.
Keep your eyes peeled for something coming out on that a little bit later today. I've been working on this all morning.
Yeah,
it's been real bad.
Yeah, not good. So, anybody that you can add to either one of those units to try to get anything additional going, I think is going to be good. But honestly, I do, man. I want to see him become a little bit more of a regular contributor. I'm not expecting it right away. But you do want to start seeing him make that step on the, at 5v5, getting his opportunities. I'm not even saying he needs to come in and start potting goals left and right, but start getting those opportunities, start getting those looks, start becoming a threat, and then use that little bit of power play time that you are going to get, especially if Nathan MacKinnon's going to be out here a couple days. He is going to get a little bit more opportunity to be in areas to score, positions to put up points on the power play and stuff. So for me, I'm not too worried about it. I'm just glad that he's, his pucks are finding the back of the net. And like I said, he's going to get at least some level of crack at it with the NHL. I'm assuming even if Nathan MacKinnon's back, he probably sticks on PP2 somewhere.
Yeah, and we'll talk about McKinnon a little bit later. But for now, just looking at Newhook, can he provide?
Maybe
Maybe.
Maybe he sticks on PP2.
You think?
If
No?
McKinnon, if McKinnon
I didn't know
is,
what he was saying. Maybe to.
Yeah, me either. I was like,
well, I was putting it together in my head.
can he
Sorry.
read my mind?
Yeah,
You know what I'm about to ask?
That would have been a party trick. You're about to ask, and I'm just like, maybe. We just move on.
Maybe, yeah. Segment 2 coming up.
Yeah, right. It's just that easy.
No, I think he might be on PP2 if you put it all together. Maybe he's there.
So, well, the other side of PP2 is Taves is back now, right? So they're back to running that Gerard Taves pairing on it.
Yeah.
So there's only 3 forwards now on that unit.
Yep. And then if Nichushkin is back, he's your puck retrieval guy, and then Burakovsky's there, and then it's either Comfer or Kadri.
Yeah.
So Newhook's
Could get edged out.
probably
Yeah.
probably on the outside looking in if they want to run the 2D alignment. If they run the 1 with 4 forwards, then I would put Newhook there.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have a jersey maker. We'd have to find a jersey maker to make DNVR jerseys.
I've got 2 beer league teams in need of jerseys. Maybe we just run it all together.
There we go. We're just going to start sponsoring beer league teams. Let's go.
Yeah.
This is spun out of control so
Immediately.
quickly.
It took 1 minute for this idea to just go off.
I mean, it was on Nighthawk started it on Twitter, and then Blaze already had the design because he'd already made one a long time ago. And now a hockey jersey, not a bathrobe.
Oh, I was like, he had a bathrobe design a long time ago.
Yeah,
Look,
Blaze did it. This is all, but he had this thing in the hopper. He'd already made one, and it looks awesome. So it's just like,
I'm all
okay,
for it.
we get it.
I'm all for it.
Dude,
but
if we had our own hockey team, I would be bailing on Avs games to just go watch them.
it's gonna be one of those things though, where like,
dude, those are sick.
what happens when that jersey costs $200 and none of you buy it though?
Well, and look at the DNVR logo on the shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulder patch is so good.
You could just get those full sublimated, and they honestly wouldn't be that much.
All right, so we need to make these. We've come to that conclusion. The DNVR anti-plumbers.
We've made like a Mario level hockey team.
Head coach Sergio. All right. In any case, to get us back on track a little bit here, what is Newhook's expected role coming into this? Is this a guy who's going to be on the 4th line playing 8 minutes, or do you see opportunity for him to get up the lineup?
I think that this should give them the excuse to put a 4th line back together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the smartest play here is you put Nichushkin back in and this is assuming, okay, we're just going to operate in the window where McKinnon plays on Thursday.
Yeah,
I don't know
later.
Look, he did not practice today with what the team told us was a lower body issue.
He was being evaluated for
it.
So
and Bednar did not speak after practice. So we have no updates. So everybody drawing a conclusion somewhere. We're all just guessing. So what I'm going to do is operate in the world that he plays on Thursday, because I don't want to have 3 different conversations at once.
It's
just
Nathan McKinnon. He's playing until he's ruled out, right?
I'm just going to operate under the assumption he plays on Thursday. Because everything changes if he doesn't. Then Comfer has a different job and blah, 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 blah. So if McKinnon plays, you have the top line as the top line. Your second line, you have Nichushkin with Kadri and Burakovsky. And that I would probably go Comfer or Newhook as your 3C. Whichever one. Comfer sucks at center, so me personally, I would just stop with this attempt. But I would put Jost with Helm and O'Connor and just have 3 lines that you're comfortable with, that you
know what they do,
feel comfortable. They are going to accomplish their jobs, because the 2 right now, the 1.5 lines that they're rolling out there has been nothing but frustrating. And so I think a Helm, Jost, O'Connor, that's your fourth line. Your fourth line, which will probably be, you'll probably have 2 third lines because they'll probably end up with equal minutes, special teams depending. But that's how I would do it. And then run your third line as kind of just your leftovers. Where you have a Newhook, and then you have Comfort, and then you make your decision.
Count or Sherwood or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Couch still hurts, so you Sherwood and Megna
Sure.
are your guys that you're putting there, and then you have, saying this out loud, knowing how the way that Bednar values handedness, it's probably going to be Comfort in the middle, Newhook on the left, and one of those guys on the right, and then
and you just deal with that. And we've seen, the Avs aren't afraid to run a line that is relatively fluid.
Yeah.
As far as positioning is concerned.
Well, and with how well O'Connor has played, you could justify, O'Connor moving up.
Yeah.
For me, it's mostly just about getting guys into secure roles that they're comfortable in. And you're minimizing the amount of your forwards that are trying to either play up or play down or figure things out or just survive or whatever. Because I think that's a problem. The other question is with a guy like Newhook, how do you maximize him?
Right.
How do you get the most out of him? How do you make sure that this call up is actually like worth, and you didn't just trade one do nothing rookie for another with Ranta and Newhook?
Sure.
And I think that's part of it too, that you hear a lot of people get, frustrated with sometimes is there's just been so many instances, not just with the Avs, where you see these guys come up and they're these skill guys who were sent down to the AHL to get more comfortable, get more puck touches, all the stuff we talked about at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And then you plug them into these, fourth line, kind of like role player spots. Honestly, for me, what I want to see, and this is going to be a weird comparable when I first say it, but like you want to see him kind of have that Logan O'Connor effect. I'm not saying they're the same player or anything like that, but like you want to see him just go out there and earn his own bounces, earn his own opportunities, just put his head down and skate, move his legs. And if he does that, he's going to get, Logan O'Connor skated multiple games now in the top 6. Newhook just needs to make sure that effort's there, and he's going to get moved up that lineup. I really do think Nichushkin is almost kind of like a placeholder for them. I think that is where they are banking on him ending up by the end of the season, right? If everything goes right, everything goes according to plan.
If we're being honest, like the ideal outcome here, like best case scenario, is that Alex Newhook, yes, plays his way into that spot, and that Nichushkin and Jost put back together, and then maybe O'Connor ends up on that right side or Comfort's on that right side, and that's like your shut down-ish type of line that doesn't give anything up defensively. O'Connor's better defensively than Comfort is, so I'm tempted to make a Nichushkin Jost LOC third line, which may not produce a ton offensively.
The ultimate shut it down mode,
right?
Yeah.
But this is your gear it down. You've got a 1-goal lead in the third period, and you consistently can roll that line out and ask them to play up a line or two, take on a second line matchup. Maybe Moonlight is take on a top line matchup very briefly, like just to try and hunt matchup opportunities with a line like that. I think that's the best case. Like that's where I think they would like to get to. Yeah, where Newhook is justifying being on the left wing next to a Kadri and a Berkey, because I think that's your lineup optimized in terms of talent.
And I think what it comes down to is the Avs are looking for someone to drive production in their bottom 6. Yes, they have JT Compher, but the rest of it is not scoring much, and Compher's getting cratered in possession metrics. Now the Hellman friends
Compher's not scoring at 5v5,
right?
And Compher's only scoring as when he's out there with top six guys,
right?
So he's like all the points and everything. come with like asterisks like all over the place here.
I specifically say production because you look at the
Yeah.
Avs bottom six and you look at the Hellman Friends line and you're like, okay, that line is driving possession, but they don't have any finishing ability. So they're not producing the points that, frankly, the Avs have needed from their bottom six lately.
Like, it's okay if your fourth line is not chipping a lot of offense in, but it can't be your third and fourth line.
Right.
Like,
Right.
you've got
Well,
Jason Magna has 8 games with 0 points. Martin Kaut has 6 games, 0 points. Sampo Ranta just gave you 10 games with 0 points. Darren Helm has 10 game, 1 point. Tyson Jost has 10 games, 2 points. Logan O'Connor is your bright spot there with 10 games and 3 points. Otherwise, like, your bottom 6 guys have not done collectively. This is all of them have not done nearly enough. Nearly enough.
Yep.
Well, and that's what you like about that again theoretical third line that you just kind of outlined there, AJ, with Nichushkin, Jost, O'Connor. Yeah, those guys can shut it down. They can play safe. Great, great in their own zone. But that's also a line that if they get their rushes, like you've got, like, it's not just a black hole of like offensive players. Like you've got guys there that can finish. You've got some skill guys. It's not, that's not a shutdown line where you're completely punting on the offense. And yeah, just gives you more of that depth, a little bit more of a threat, more than just when Nathan McKinnon rolls over the boards.
Right. So y'all may have noticed I did shave my beautiful face. I got a pro tip for you here. Go get yourself 2 lawnmowers. All right. I have the 3.0 and the 4.0 because they upgraded while they've been with us. One for the junk, one for the hunk. That's what I like to say. All right. You make it work with both razors. So hit up Manscaped. Get 20% off with code DNVR. You can also get free shipping with the Perfect Package 4.0. Yeah, you can shave your whole body, Cygnus, every square inch that you want to shave with the lawnmower. So get in there, take care of what you need. Also been using their new body wash and shampoo. That works great as well. So check them out today. Again, use the DNVR code to get 20% off at manscaped.com. And then head on over to DraftKings Sportsbook. Keep using that DNVR code when you sign up for a new account. All you have to do is bet $1 on any football game for a team to score a point. If the team does not get shut out, you win $100 in free bets. So don't bet on a team that gets shut out like the who did the Broncos play the other day? I forget.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys. Dallas. Yeah, that's right. The Dallas, who was good until then, but Dallas sucks because the Cowboys suck. That's all I got to say about that. Anyway, bet on football. Get $100 in free bets with the DNVR code at DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, you can bet on all sorts of other fun events as well, ranging from Gaelic football to darts. So why not jump on it, have a little bit of fun? You can sign up today with whatever account you're feeling with. Well, assuming you're in a legal state, don't do it in an illegal state. But
I don't think you could do. It's a lot of work to try and do it
they have
illegally.
they even have VPN prevention and stuff.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot.
hard.
I'm saying it's a lot of effort, man. It's just not worth.
Yeah. So must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And when you make a little bit of money, maybe sign up for an annual DNVR membership because you get, free shirt to go with that. You get big beers at the bar. You get access to the DNVR lounge. Plenty other stuff as well. Beyond just, our awesome content, as we've been dropping a whole lot of that lately. Check out our plays of the week if you haven't yet over on the DNVR.com. New little segment that we're having some fun with, just looking at dope hockey plays. I enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoy it. Anyway, second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Women'scape too. And women can use it just as well as men. It all works. So will the Avs ever play a full lineup this season?
Yeah, Thursday.
You think McKinnon's good to go? I
Sure.
mean,
I don't know. I don't know that he's not. So until I'm told that he's not, I'm assuming he is.
I know.
Okay, like I'm just. Other people are totally, totally free to assume otherwise that he's going to miss and that they'll never have a fully healthy lineup. And okay, cool, whatever.
So I'm going to split hairs just to piss AJ off in this one. I say no, they won't have a full lineup on Thursday.
Okay.
Pavel Francouz still out.
True.
Yeah, well, he's not. He wouldn't play anyway, so irrelevant.
Maybe if they had a full healthy lineup, he would.
The guy opening up the door on the bench is not my concern.
All right, look, that's a big hit to morale. Okay,
I care about everyone, AJ.
Okay, well, I don't. So
I'm an equal opportunity door opener.
you come up to the bench door and it's a giant Jonas Johansson opening the door. That's intimidating. All right,
Yeah.
you need a smaller goaltender like Francouz to be doing
need
that
someone
to get
to
you
keep everyone.
confidence.
Yeah, keep everyone calm on the bench. You don't need some, hulking Swede over there yelling at you.
Exactly.
they need a different captain then.
He's
said
not
over
hulking.
there. Yeah,
when you're
well,
that
he's not-
attractive, you're not hulking. All right.
Yo, now you're taking side swipes at Jonas Johansson's attractiveness.
I'm
Are
just
you
saying he's not
he's
as
as
attractive
good looking as
Gabe.
Gabe Landeskog. Yeah, he didn't say he wasn't good looking.
I'm genuinely, I don't think I can picture Jonas Johansson's face right now.
Look, he's on Team Male Model. He has to be relatively attractive. So
I mean, he's Swedish, so I'm just assuming.
that's hard with the goalies, right? Because they're always wearing their mask.
Eh,
Yeah, now that you say that, what does Jonas Johansson look like?
like that.
Apparently, like this. I feel like there's a better image of that man out there. Yeah, no, he's got some attractiveness going on for sure. All right.
If he didn't have the flow, would he still be attractive?
Yeah, the flow helps him a lot.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think
Is it legal to have bad hair in Sweden?
I mean, Carl Soderberg.
But I mean, even still, I feel like that. Like if that's your low bar, you're in pretty good shape.
I feel like that's the defining. It's like you're either super attractive or like it looks like you've been in a war and you have like one broken eye and you're like all sorts of messed up. No offense, Carl, but it's what it takes. You have to actually be smacked in the face to be not a model in Sweden.
Just dragged Carl Soderberg through the mud, man.
Yeah.
Look, man, one Odin's eye doesn't do it for me. All right.
That was messed up. Sideswipes. See what I mean? Not great hair.
But
Yeah,
again,
it's a little thin.
if that's bad hair, like
It's just not. His flow is not helping
that
him.
one's not great.
Whereas Jonas Johansson, I think his attractiveness is getting bailed out a lot by the flow. I can't believe this is a conversation that's lasted like 4 minutes now.
with pictures, like we've
Yeah,
now
like-
gone through several different photos of people.
We don't need all that. No,
Yeah.
we don't need to ruin it with. Oh, look at this.
Compared to that, it's like everyone's ugly. So, that's from when he was in Sweden, even.
Good Lord.
All right.
Yeah, he was able to get his hands on the Swedish hair products as well.
Ooh, the good stuff. That's how it all. That's how it actually works. You just put the Swedish product on, and it just looks good no matter what. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Getting back into the Avs lineup, though, Cale Makar practiced in a proper jersey, so
Looked good
expectations
today
are
too.
he'll be back in the lineup. Is he 100%? Probably not, but he's good enough to play, I guess.
Are any of us ever 100%?
True.
Cale Makar had an extended conversation with Jared Bednar on the bench pretty much after everyone had left. There was only a couple guys left on the ice shooting pucks and stuff. They sat there talking for honestly quite a while, more than 5 minutes, just talking one-on-one. Obviously, Bednar didn't speak, so not able to figure out what that is. But no, honestly, Makar looked good in practice today. He for the first time this season, at least in practice, having been to a bunch of them now, he looked good. He was snapping the puck around. He had real good speed. He had a couple really nice goals. And so I'm fully expecting him to be there. And I think he's as close to 100% as, a hockey player is ever going to be throughout the season.
All right. Well, some good news there, I suppose.
Can I just tackle this chat question real quick?
Is it the Ryan Reynolds or Landy one?
No, it's the who's the hottest one, and all the dudes are saying Landy.
What do the ladies say?
Yeah.
All right. Well, one lady's already said Landy. So
There's a large Miko contingent out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not kidding.
The broad shoulders are popular, I've heard. So I guess
He's grown up.
when you got a big butt like that too.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Anyway, look, the Avs are in a spot where at this point they're kind of just used to adjusting to whoever comes in and out of the lineup, right? They haven't really been properly healthy at all this season, so they're doing it on the fly. If we assume McKinnon is healthy, is it a mental bonus to have a fully healthy lineup? Like how much does that do for a team, especially like the Avs that, let's face it, they're probably not in the best spot mentally after those 2 Columbus games?
I think it's a big deal, man. I think when you feel like, all right, no more excuses, this is on us. Now, not to say that they've had legitimate excuses, because they're really not missing a lot out of their lineup. Like, missing Makar is a big deal. Missing Nichushkin's important. But you're still talking about, without Makar, they should be one of the better defensive teams in the NHL. They shouldn't be giving up 40 shots on goal to Columbus. But emotionally, mentally, all right, we've got all the guys back. This is the first time all season we've had the lineup that we want to have. Let's go show everybody what we can do. You know, I think it's an easy thing for them to buy into right off the hop.
Well, and everyone has had those types of days where like everything just seems to go wrong. You spill this, you know, your hoodie pocket gets hooked on the door as you're walking by, like the door handle. Like everyone just had those days where it seems like everything goes wrong, and it does like impact, honestly, your mentality of like, oh, you're just expecting things to go wrong the rest of the day. Getting a fully healthy lineup back, honestly, to me, is just going to have that relief of like, okay, things are going all right again. Like things are back to normal. Because for a second there, it was just like every single time they touched the ice, someone was getting hurt. Someone was going down. That injury list was just getting longer and longer. And then every time that happens and a bad bounce goes against you, it just kind of beats you down. So I definitely think this will be a huge mental boost for them, getting their lineup back, getting everybody back healthy. And yeah, no more excuses. You can't lean on that as a crutch anymore.
No more excuses. So a little bit of the pressure being back on then too.
Maybe it helps.
Maybe it does.
You know, maybe the poor record out of the gate. Maybe the, getting back to health, and everybody outside of Colorado is not really thinking about the Avalanche. They're not really talking about Colorado's slow start, in part because they're one of several teams that everybody expected to be good that's off to a slow start.
Most of the Cup favorites have been average or worse to start the year.
Well, and here's where it is good for the Avs. I was looking at it last night. They've only played 10 games. A lot of teams around them are already up 13 games. A couple teams will be hitting 14 tonight.
By the time they play on Thursday, they'll be they'll still be sitting at 10. Right. Most other teams will be at 11 or 12 by that point. They're going to have games in hand. That's why looking at the standings right now is dumb.
Pretty much. I think they're only one of a few teams that are still sitting at 10, let alone by Thursday. So, I mean, again, there's just another little thing that's kind of in your pocket if you're the Avs. Okay, cool. We're off to a slow start. We are a few games behind, a bunch of teams that are around us. We've got all of our guys back. I do think that the Avs they've got a lot of things to feel good about right now, assuming the Nathan McKinnon thing doesn't turn out.
So there's a bunch of teams in the East at 10 games played, but in the West, it's only the Avs, St. Louis, and Edmonton. Everyone else has played at least 11. And then the Boston has only played 9 somehow. So,
yeah.
Well, and then you consider the Avs again. They don't play tonight and they don't play tomorrow.
Yep, as teams continue to play games this week. So the gap in games in hand is only going to grow in that regard. And you look around the Western Division, right? Yeah, you have Minnesota and St. Louis off to hot starts, but you take a look at Dallas has not gotten a strong start. Teams like Vegas is 6-6 through 12 games. So the teams you expected to be at the top of the divisions, if you go to the East too, Tampa is finally back up to 6-3-2. They've turned it around a little bit, but Boston's 5-4. You have the East, the Metropolitan rather, is kind of the super division right now with every team above 500. But the rest of the league is
everybody
a lot
knew
of
coming in.
middle.
Everybody saw the Metro was going to be the division of doom this year.
Yep. It certainly isn't the Central as it has been for so many years previously. It's not the Thunderdome anymore, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I mean they got a break when Arizona rolled in.
Yep.
As Arizona was rebuilding, obviously Chicago's off to a
horrific start.
Yeah, just a real bad start, and then they're like the rest of the division. The St. Louis has been awesome, and I don't think there's any way to really get around that. Minnesota, I think, has been super deceiving because I think all but one of their wins have been come from behind wins.
Yeah,
and it's just
they
like
regularly trail going into the third.
Yeah, it's like this is not going to continue for a team that's winning by 1 goal on a regular basis and having to come back in games every night. It's just one of those. It's like you're blowing.
They have
your like magic all at the start of the season just to get off to a.
They have 8 wins and only half of them have come in regulation.
Yeah, like Minnesota is like their underlyings are pretty good, but the way that they're getting about it, the way that things are actually happening, has been.
They're 4-0.
A lot of smoke and mirror. I think.
In the 3-on-3 and shootout, they're 4-0.
Yeah.
So it's just not sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, if they'd been on the other side of that, you take away 4 points from them. Are we even looking at this as like?
Yeah, they're Minnesota. Pretty middle of the pack, right?
Yeah, you don't even think about it. It's really just St. Louis has been able to outscore their problems, and when you go and you look at their underlying numbers and you look at especially the goals that they're giving up, they're not going to be able to everybody scoring goes down as years go on, and as the year goes on, games get lower scoring.
Yep, it happens
month
every
by
year.
month. Teams lock in. You don't get as many power plays.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
There's enough footage on every offense.
And systems get mastered throughout the year. They're doing it every single day. 6 months in, teams are great at what they do. I'm not convinced St. Louis is going to be able to outscore their problems all year. Right now they're papering over them, and that's great. Like they're getting through that. But I
think Jordan Binnington sucks too.
Yeah. Well, I think he is an average starter, and so you're going to have stretches where he plays well, and you're going to have stretches where he plays like shit. And ultimately, I think his results are going to land in the middle. But even
complete head case and tries to swing his stick.
Well, yeah, like everybody knows he's a psycho. Like that's a total thing. But it's just St. Louis is just different than we've ever seen them because their forward core is really deep. It's really talented. It's really good. Their defense isn't very good, and Jordan Binnington's just all right. Winnipeg is getting bailed out by Eric Comrie right now, so that's something that I'm curious to see how long that continues.
Well,
is what it is, but the division around Colorado isn't so good that everybody is, that Colorado's lost contact here. Like that, we're not in that conversation yet. As much as we're talking about a 4-5-1 start being bad and problematic, it's 4-5-1. Like.
It's not disastrous. Yeah.
Well, so we talked. I think it was in one of my first shows, or maybe even before the season started when I came on. That for every 10-game segment, you want to be getting 12 points. Maybe that's a couple years outdated because that kind of puts you on the fringes. But like if you look at it from that lens, like
it's a 98-point pace,
right? And so it's like okay, you look at it through that lens. You missed by 3 points. You got to make up 3 points in your next 10-game segment, and then it's a wash. Who cares? You did what you need to do, and then you can get back on track. I'm with you, man. Like the 4-5-1, it seems really bad. It sounds really bad, especially just given the expectations around this team.
I mean,
but
it's
you're
safe
not
to.
that far off of the pace you want.
It's fair to say that 4-5-1 is not good,
Yeah. Well, it's not good enough.
but it's not. It's not horrible either.
Yeah. You also look at the context of the lineup changing literally every game.
Yep.
The lineup has changed. They've had their top guys, like their top line and their top pairing, have yet to play in a game together. Not once. So we'll see. Like and teams live and die by their best players over the long haul. You live and die by what those guys do or don't do. And if they're not even in the lineup, like it's just they have not met expectations, but the lineup is getting healthy, and there's reason for optimism with Newhook versus Ranta. That swap alone, you should be a little excited about, just because one guy is trending in the right direction and the other guy isn't. Right. But they've got a weaker schedule this month. They've got it. They blew the first 2 games.
Yep.
And that's
no 2 ways about it.
Yeah. But it's, see me on December 1st. I know everybody looks at Elliot Friedman loves the American Thanksgiving stat, where it's 79%. I think it's 76% of teams.
78, I think.
Okay. Right. We're in the same neighborhood of teams that aren't in the play or that are in the playoffs on American Thanksgiving make it, which disregards that 20-ish% of them still make that climb every single year. So, it's not, I don't think it's a super meaningful stat, because it's like, oh, all the top teams are already in the postseason picture at American Thanksgiving and they just stay there. Okay.
All right. Well, look, if you're trying to live up to expectations in the bedroom, make sure you're getting a full night's sleep with snooze sleep. All right.
Dude, I've got a mattress coming. I'm really excited for the new mattress.
From
You're
Snooze?
pumped on it?
Yes.
Please.
From Snooze.
I'm really anxious to try, and mine sucks right now. My bed, not my Snooze bed.
Well, the Snooze has an option for everyone. They have the only 4-in-1 mattress that includes hard, soft, hot, cool. Flip the mattress or flip the mattress cover. Either way, get you hard, get you soft, get you warm, get you cool. Whatever way you like to sleep, the Snooze mattress can take care of you. So check it out today. Of course, you can always try before you buy. They do have I forget how many days it is of a guarantee, but if you hate it, you can always send it back. But you won't hate it, because it's an amazing mattress. It's super awesome, super easy to use. The zippable cover, super easy to throw on there again. Can do that. Allie's got something to say about it.
I have a Snooze mattress, and it is literally amazing. The fact that you can switch it is so cool. Like, you just flip it over and it's a little softer, more of like that memory foam material, or it's harder. And then the cooling part is really dope. I really like it. AJ, I'm interested to see how you feel about it once you get yours, but I love our Snooze mattress. Before, I had an IKEA mattress, and let me tell you how bad that was. So it's been an upgrade for sure.
So anyway, check out the Snooze mattress. Word on the street is there's a YouTube video of Allie and RK opening theirs at the bar. So
no, I don't know. I hope not. I hope that is never found. I have no idea, but
it exists.
Oh God. Okay, I have to go find that now.
So go check that out.
Oh, but so they brought the mattress to the bar, and they wanted everyone to feel the mattress. I don't know if people even saw this on Twitter. So they opened the bar at the mattress for everyone to feel, and that was our mattress. And then they put it on the floor, and then random people, as they entered the bar, got to jump on it, feel it out, and everything. No tequila was not involved. It was the owner of Snooze mattresses who wanted everyone at the bar to try it out. So it was an interesting experience, but they tried to make it protected, and the fact that you can take the little cover out, we were able to wash it so that it wasn't just random people who jumped in the bar. That's not the mattress that I'm sleeping on right now. But yeah, just come down to the DNVR bar. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So if you don't need to keep up with expectations in the bedroom, maybe it's time to beat your meat. head on over to hasslecattlecompany.com.
I almost spit out my water, literally.
HassleCattleCompany.com has a special offer going on right now for the holidays. You can get 15% off with code DNVR15. So be sure to jump on that and get all the steaks you want. Whether you want it doesn't even have to be steak. It could be their Wagyu beef burger, could be the sirloin, the ribeye, all sorts of stuff. Look, all right, some people like to mash their meat and put it in a stew or something, all right? They got you covered for that type of meat too at Hassle. I'm on a roll today. I don't know what to tell you, chat. I don't know what to tell you. Hassle's great. They really enjoy giving people what they want. And that's all we're trying to do here with all of our products, but Hassle especially delivers meat right to your front door, and you can you can get it delivered with free shipping if you do an order of $200 or more. So maybe you're having the whole family over for Thanksgiving. Ask everybody what kind of steak they would like.
Ask everyone if they'd like to beat their meat.
Just when they walk in the door, this will be the first thing you ask. You here to beat your meat? Or, mashed potatoes. Got it.
Yeah, well, whatever works for you. I ain't gonna judge. Third period on the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, the Avs could be better. They could be worse. They're certainly not in a great position, but AJ, you kind of already alluded to it. Facing a lot of teams that they need to beat in the upcoming weeks. So
yep. They're the meat that the Avs need to beat.
Oh God, there we go. Now we're talking. So obviously Vancouver Thursday and San Jose Saturday at home. You pretty much need this team to go 2-0 in those, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Those are some of those wins too, where like
at worst you get 2 points.
Right. Like the points you absolutely need, but you need to string a couple wins together that feel good, that get some confidence back and getting a couple wins at home, get the crowd. Because what is their record at home this year?
2-2-1.
Yeah. Like you got to be better at home than that.
Look, let's face it. This team, they won game 1 and then they haven't been over 500 since game 2. They've been a team that have been fighting to get back to 500 and not able to kind of get over that hump. So 2 wins in a row puts them over that hump. It's that simple to me.
Well, and you also have a Vancouver team. It's like Thatcher Demko.
Yep.
Is it?
The front end is not.
They
really
like
great
JT
there.
Miller, and like they've got talented guys, but that's a team that the Avs should be able to beat pretty handily. Especially defensively, they're just not very good. It's going to be the hard part is beating Thatcher Demko. And then San Jose on Saturday night. I mean, you're talking, this is a team that has been wrecked by COVID, and I'm not sure who all will be in that lineup on Saturday, but even if they get every single guy back in time for that, and I don't know what their status is, I don't know who's expected to come back when. So I don't know if that's even a thing that's possible, but they don't really have an imposing group right now. So you really just need to
time to put the hammer down a little bit.
Yeah, like you need to. There's a couple of home games, and then they go and they play Vancouver again. They play Vancouver and Seattle, and it's like it's a soft part of the schedule. It just is. You're not looking at like, oh, well, San Jose is off to a good start relative to expected. Who fucking cares? You need to beat these teams. You just do. You just need to beat these teams. It's not red alert if you don't. But walking out of last week with 1 point against Columbus out of 4 was just not good enough. If they walk out of this with 2 out of 4 points, you're surviving. But every week that you fail to thrive, that you fail to take a step forward, that you fail to put pressure on teams to match your point total, is a week that they separate from you.
Treading
is a week you don't get back in the season to do work, to either catch up or gain ground.
Treading water is a luxury of teams that start 7-3, 8-2.
Edmonton at 9-1 is going to be able to they're going to be able to have a 5-5 stretch at some point, because even when they lose points, when that happens, they will have banked enough ahead of a handful of the teams that they won't be in deep trouble or anything.
Yeah. The Avs with their start can't afford to tread water.
Yeah, they just the longer you tread water, the more you have to start playing 750 level of hockey.
Yep.
Which is just unsustainable over a long period of time. Like it's just not. It's just not. So it's they got to get to it, man. You got to get to the first month is already gone. You're getting relatively healthy here. You've got to go do the thing with or without Nathan McKinnon. If the rest of your team is healthy,
that's a good enough.
Darcy Kemper's in net.
Yeah,
that's a good enough lineup to beat both of those teams.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah, agreed. After that, it's Vancouver again. This time in Vancouver, and then Seattle. The little Northwest road trip there. So 2 beatable teams in games 3 and 4 coming up as well, and no excuses, right? They play Vancouver, they play San Jose, then they get another 3 days off. So this team is gonna be the healthiest it's ever gonna get with that much time off.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say that you go into a soft part of your schedule after you come off. Yeah, it's been annoying for us. 2 games in 10 days, but it gave them a chance to get back healthy without missing, without guys missing a ton of games. And so, yeah, you're going to a soft part of your schedule, coming off of a favorable part of your schedule. This is where you need to get going, and I think they will.
Yeah, that's as AJ kind of put it. This team, wherever it's at on December 1st, is going to be either you're smashing every panic button in the book, or things are getting back on track. One of the two. I don't.
If they're in the same spot where they are now, it's a panic button.
Yeah, definitely. Agreed.
If you're like, what are you, 9th, 10th in the conference, something like that? Like right now, and I know that games played comes into this, but right now they are 4 points out of a playoff spot and 6 points out of being in last place.
It's hard to separate a whole bunch in the first 10 games of the season.
So it's like, look, do I think Arizona is going to catch Colorado this month? I genuinely don't. But the reality is, like, if you don't get it together,
yeah,
you're talking about being in the kind of company you don't want to be in the standings. So it's just time.
The Avs have not played themselves into or out of anything. They're just somewhere in the middle right now, right? And
yeah, they're in the weird middle zone where you don't feel good, but you're also not like, well, the season's over.
Yeah.
But for most of us, I mean, there have been people on Twitter who are like,
burn it down.
They're dedicated to doing this for the next 7 months with their life. I told you so. I told you they weren't good enough.
Some of those
nobody listens to me.
Want to burn it down when they're second in the whole league too. So
yeah, I mean, who knows, man. I do want to talk about the deep pairings from practice today, just because
people have been losing it over Byram being paired with McDermott.
Yeah, so Byram right now is on the 4th pairing next to McDermott. Do any of us think that this is actually going to be the lineup that they go with in a game?
No chance.
We all think that Byram plays.
Yeah,
over one of Ryan Murray or Jack Johnson.
Bowen Byram is the Avs' most productive defenseman right now. I don't think you don't really fit that guy.
I almost even kind of took it as they're putting Johnson and Murray together because they're trying to decide which one of those guys stays in the lineup. Jack Johnson.
I think they already have that answer.
Jack Johnson had a couple nice plays today at practice, making some good reads and stuff. But I don't know. I noticed it. I intentionally didn't tweet it out. I started typing it, but I was like, nah, these are practice D pairings, and I'm really not worried about it. And then the next time I got on Twitter, everyone was like, oh my God, Bowen Byram coming out of the lineup. What are they doing?
Take a breath.
Yeah.
Not going to happen like that. I don't even Like, I really think it's the Avs looking at things in practice and seeing, maybe they see something they like and can get something to work with a certain pairing this way or one thing or the other. But I wouldn't read into it much more than that.
Yeah.
So Bowen Byram, who has 8 points in 10 games, is not about to sit for anyone on the defense, basically. It's that simple.
Okay, so we agree there. Jack Johnson and Ryan Murray.
Are you saying Jack Johnson? Did you say Jack Johnson or Ryan Murray?
Yeah,
Yeah.
make your case. Which guy is the sixth guy on Thursday?
I'm keeping Johnson.
Make your case.
Oh, you didn't just want an answer? No, well, one, I just think if you look at the two guys head to head, I think Jack Johnson has had many more positive moments. I don't necessarily know if I want to go as far as saying he's been good or, whatever, but I think he's been better than Ryan Murray. And like I said, today in practice, he was making some good reads. He's a veteran guy. And to me, this is exactly what you brought him in for. I think you wanted Ryan Murray to be that guy, but I just don't think Ryan Murray's been good enough to start this season. Stabilizing presence in Jack Johnson.
It does not matter to me, to be honest with you.
That's where I'm at, honestly. I'm with Rudo there. Don't
like neither of them have been particularly effective. Jack Johnson scored that great goal on opening night. He doesn't have a single point since. Ryan Murray has 2 points. Both of them came in the same game. So neither of them are really producing in any meaningful way. We've seen the issues with Jack Johnson's skating are starting to crop up more and more as the season gets going, where teams are starting to just beat him wide and things like that. But Ryan Murray has not moved the puck particularly well for a guy that you were hoping to see a little bit more out of that than someone like Jack Johnson. You don't want him throwing grenades up the ice, and the consistency hasn't really been there for Murray. Sometimes you see him make nice passes. Other times you see him just make stupid decisions with the puck. So I don't think either of them are perfect. I think either of them are just fine on a third pairing. It really doesn't matter to me which one's in the lineup. AJ. Doesn't have an answer to his own question over here.
Can I say Sam Girard?
Sam Girard needs to play better. You can say that.
He's actually, and the only reason I know this is because I've spent all morning on it, but he's been their worst 5v5 defenseman this year.
That matches the eye test, certainly in the last handful of games.
But realistically, though, I think it'll be Johnson. I would go with Murray, but I think it'll be Johnson. From a statistical profile, Johnson has outplayed Murray. Not by a lot. It's pretty close. But when you consider that there isn't a huge difference between the two, and you consider the style of the two, if you're trying to be more well-rounded, you go with Jack Johnson. If you're trying to lean 100% into your identity and who you are, you go with Ryan Murray. Yep. And I think that we've seen the best games from each of them. Ryan Murray's best game is a lot better than Jack Johnson's. The problem is that you don't get Ryan Murray's best game very often. So what are you getting more often? And I just think that it's probably going to be Jack Johnson for one of the reasons Evan mentions here is that who they trust more on the PK. And I think it's Jack Johnson. I think they think Jack Johnson, both on the PK and in end of game situations, is that guy.
Well, and this is why they brought in a guy like Jack Johnson. It's to be that kind of safety net, the bottom of the lineup. And you know, with all the while knowing that if he starts doing stuff you don't like, starts, really struggling, you've got a guy in Ryan Murray who maybe a couple healthy scratches, help get him going a little bit better in the right direction.
Well, and part of what makes this decision so easy and that you're not really worried about which one is in is Bowen Byram's immediate rise to awesomeness. That was a guy that we're talking about at the start of the year where it's like, look, maybe you need to shelter this guy in the third pairing as he starts to adjust to the NHL. And he has rolled up this season, just said, nah, put me on the top pair. Let's go.
I think that's probably where he ends up, to be honest. I think they're going to roll. My betting money is that they roll Taves, McCarr, Girard, Johnson,
sure,
and then Byram and Johnson.
And that's fine, but you're not having the conversation of, oh, we need to stick Byram with the vet. You're saying, Byram, just go out there and play. You're doing just fine. So it gets a little bit easier to build around it, build the bottom of the Avs defense. I'll put it that way.
Does Byram's really hot start mean if they do put him next to Jack Johnson? Does Byram's hot start inspire them to maybe overplay the third pairing a little bit? Or is it more of you pick your spots with Byram with other guys? And then he takes a regular shift with Johnson.
Knowing Bednar, probably the latter. Yeah. He's never afraid to just throw two random defensemen out in a certain spot.
The thing is he's never had this type of core, though.
That's true.
Few coaches in their life ever do. I mean, this is going to be the defense where now, obviously, we're looking at guys in their best form, and Sam Girard hasn't been anywhere close to that this year. So I think that there needs to be an honest conversation about Girard not getting big minutes while he's playing the way that he is. I think he needs to lock it down defensively a lot better than he has. Yeah. And if he gets back to playing the way that we're accustomed to Sam Girard playing, then fine. But I really don't think that I think they'll start Girard Johnson, but I think they should have a quick trigger to make the switch.
Hook ready to go.
Yes, because Byram has been that good and Girard has struggled enough. And we've seen Byram excel next to both Makar and Johnson. So it's not like there's a guy that's been propping him up. He's been the guy propping others up. So that's where I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. It's when it comes to Byram's availability there, you're also looking at someone like Devon Taves, right? Is he back to full speed? Maybe. But
he was really, really good in his one game. There were some timing issues that I had, but they were offensively.
Yeah.
But he was really, really good in that one game.
But that's what I'm saying is like maybe his offense isn't quite there, so you throw Byram out for a shift offensively. But it's not. It's not Allie's birthday, chat. I know there's some new people in here.
Namely Jesse.
Mostly Jesse. It's not Allie's birthday. Thank you for the super chat, Rick. Seems like whoever's next to Kadri gets a nice boost to their stats. Kadri has been rock solid this year. No doubt about it. He's doing exactly what the Avs need him to do in that 2 center spot. So,
and if you go and look at the Wowies, they're all pretty even. He hasn't like hardcore elevated or held anybody back. He's just playing
his own game. Yep.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Okay. Any final thoughts here? Are we good to go?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
All right. Great. Not happy birthday to Ali Monroy. Thank you everyone for watching, listening.
Thank you to everyone who genuinely wished me a happy birthday. It's just an Avs joke that I will never truly understand, but
we appreciate you all. Please like and subscribe here on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. That helps us out a ton. We will be back tomorrow talking about probably whether Nathan MacKinnon is healthy or not. We hope to see you there. Until then, we will talk to you all later.